On in LinkedIn, I'm live. Okay. Uh, because I did not put the keys. I think my default it is taking. Can anyone confirm? No, I think they have changed the setting. Just let me, Shafak, 1 second. Wait. Just let me confirm. Anyone can confirm whether they are able to see me on LinkedIn? Oh my God. So now they are directly broadcasting it. So welcome everyone to the 102nd community meetup that is there. And there was some issue in live streaming. So before, when I used to do the live streaming, I used to get a specific I needed to enter a specific URL or something, but nowadays it is by default, it is connecting and doing it by themselves. So welcome everyone to the 102nd community meetup that is there. And today we are, let me just, before I start sharing and the speaker, we have few things that we wanted to set up. So we are on Zoom. We request people few house rules. If you can switch on your cameras, it will be amazing. And by default, the mics are on. The mics are off for everyone that is there. So if you have anything to speak, you can raise your hand. You can talk as well, and keep the chat active. The team and we are monitoring this as well. And you can also uh, keep this particular. Uh, as I mentioned, the cameras on and the hands. If you want to speak, I request for you to do both of them so that we can give you that option that is there. There's a react button where that we can do. So as I was mentioning you, today is the 102nd AI community meetup that we are doing. We have been doing this regularly for almost 2.5 years right now. So we do a lot of online events, we do a lot of physical events as well. And this is more of a knowledge sharing session where we all get together, we all of us start discussing and start also brainstorming. And also, as you all know, that we have our challenges running. So we are going to, two challenges are basically happening right now. The LinkedIn challenge is getting over by this Sunday. Today is the last day. So if there is any Q&A regarding that, we will have it at the end. So please, I request any one of you keep that question in the end, and we will be taking it forward. And as I mentioned, yes. So if you're raising your hands, when please on your cameras, then we'll be able to give you to speak. And when the Q&A section is raised, not right now. And now moving about today's topic, that is very, very special as well. So I have been requesting Mr. Satya to give a talk. He's a data engineer. He's an expert in this particular area. So I requested him to give a talk on the Google space, because he has been working in Google for a long time. And today's topic is more about how to use this. So we'll have a small demo by him, and then you can ask your Q&As as we are going ahead. So how to start using your Google Cloud uh, data pipeline, and how to use this whole ecosystem, the GCP, the whole ecosystem, and your launchpad to data analytics. So we have Mr. Satya here. So Satya is a freelance data engineer. He is a part of the community for a long time. He has 20 plus years in the data space, and he is a Google developer expert. And I think this is your second talk. So thanks a lot, Satya, for taking your time and sharing your knowledge to the community. Over to you. And we'll be, so Satya, how do you want to have the questions? You want to have it at the end, or you want people to keep on putting it on the chat, and then you'll be picking it up?
I don't really mind. After 3 or 4 slides, I want to have a chat, like if anyone has any question or something. But otherwise, even beyond that, if there's anything that I need to clarify, then I'm more than happy to take the questions right there.
Sure. Thank you, Satya. So everyone, please keep your questions going as you have. We'll be opening the floor for Q&A at after some time, but the chat I will be monitoring, and the team will be monitoring as well. Thank you. Over to you, Satya.
I'm just sending a request for to share my screen.
You can share now. Sorry for that. You can share now.
Visible now?
We can see your WhatsApp. Yeah,
My WhatsApp, you can see.
we can see your WhatsApp screen. Uh,
Okay. Let me stop sharing. So I wanted to share the other screen. Uh, as you can see my on the slide deck now.
yes, we can see.
Okay. Um, so thanks everyone for joining. As Ashid mentioned, like I'm going to give a short talk on Google Cloud Data Pipelines, and he has already given me an introduction, so I don't really want to speak about myself anymore. And okay, so I'm gonna first, for the first few minutes, first few slides, there's gonna be some introduction on what data pipeline is, etc. So after 3 or 4 slides, I'm planning to just stop, and if there's any question or if anyone else wants to add any other insights, then that would be great. Okay, so first to start off with, what is a data pipeline? So basically, like if so this data comes from various sources, various places. They're not clean. They're not. They have different standards. The data has different standards based on where it comes from. For example, temperature, maybe in centigrade, Fahrenheit, things like that, and also meters, kilometers, or miles. All those sort of different things are there. So that is where the raw data is. So what the data the whole thing about the data pipeline is that you collect the data from various sources, ingest it into ingest it, and prepare it, like transform it, standardize it, and all that stuff, and then do additional computations if you want to add any additional data or additional information to the data, and stuff like that, and then finally send it for analytics. So it is actually a series of data processing steps: collecting, ingesting, preparing the data, transforming it, computing additional things, and then sending it for presentation. And an important thing is has to be systematic and automated. It is no good like someone sits in every day, gets the data from the source, and does all the transformations, all the changes, all of those things every day or every week, whatever it is. So it has to be automated and it has to be systematic. It should be able to run without any issues, or at least theoretically should be able to run without much issues. It should be well tested and automated. That's the main thing. That's an important thing. And also a very, very important thing is checking for data quality. So that becomes critical in a data pipeline. And it is called a pipeline because just like water flows through a pipe, here in this case, data flows through a pipe, and that's just a simple depiction of that in this picture. And the other keyword in the title is data analytics. So what is data analytics? Data analytics is basically analyzing the raw data. When I say raw data, it doesn't necessarily mean data from the source, but data that is available, which has multiple, which has a lot of information, but analyze it and get the insights. So that is what data analytics is. And the data analytics, the output can be kind of traditional dashboards which have been in existence for decades, like usually static and or sometimes dynamic as well. So so basically static ones are the ones where you just present it, you just provide the information, and the user cannot do any additional analysis and stuff like that. Whereas with dynamic, if you want to drill down, say you're giving a sales figure, and if you want to, if the user wants to know which countries the sales comes from, then you can actually do that. So get a little bit more additional information. And also dynamic could also mean that it is being updated in real time. Say if you're looking at your website visitation um, on a regular basis, then the website the visitation can be basically updated in your dashboard on a regular basis every few minutes, or in real time is what I would say. So that it's not just about the dashboards; it's also for data scientists to use. So that and the data science is also analyzing the data. And in data analytics, there are kind of different types. So basically, descriptive is like what does it? So basically, if it is the sales figures, if you're looking at, that is descriptive. It tells you the sales. It tells you the country-wise sales, product category-wise sales, for example. So that is just descriptive, just gives a description. And diagnostic is where you kind of look at why it is. Say, sales may be impacted because of weather conditions, because of holiday seasons, uh, and any other festivals and all that stuff. So that gives that is the diagnostic, which says why the data point is like that. And the predictive analytics, that is the data science part, where the data scientists pick up the data and predict what might happen in the future. So that is predictive. And prescriptive is like, okay, it's not just about giving the information, it is also recommending a course of action. A good example would be sending out marketing emails based on the customer behavior or the categories of customers. So that is the behavior. So based on that, if an email is being sent, or I just mentioned about website data. So if a user has added a few items to a cart, so then you can say and not taking action, or not making a purchase decision, then you can send out a coupon code either by email or even to the session directly if possible, so that you prompt the user to take action. So that is data analytics. And why is this topic important? Because often, like if you're going on Kaggle and doing your data science projects, or if you're being on a course, the data you get is all very clean. Everything is there. All you have to do is pick it up, make some do some minor modifications maybe, and then you are ready to go. But in real life, it is hardly like that. And it is, I would even say it is never clean. So always you have to get, once you get the data from the source systems, you almost always required to clean it. And I say clean it, it doesn't necessarily mean the data is erroneous or anything, but there may be some missing data. There may be things like where you want to standardize things. For example, as I told you, like different units of measure. So all those things have to be standardized. So that is also, to some extent, I would say it's not clean. Or there's always there is some data that you don't need, and you have to remove them. And also, as I mentioned, like the data pipeline is important to automate the steps. So that is that is critical. And these functions are generally carried out by a data engineer in a team of data engineers in larger organizations. But if you are working in a medium size or a smaller organization, then it is usually the data analyst or the data scientist performs the role. But even then, even if you're working in a larger organization, it is useful to know the concepts behind the data engineering, because still there will be cases where, at least to some extent, you a small scale where you may have to do some data engineering tasks. So it is better to have a clear understanding of it. So what I would say is, like, if you are attending the session and if you want to take away, so I would say these are the things that you need to understand and remember, especially why is this important, and why this particular function is extremely important. Doesn't necessarily have to be a data engineer doing it, but the building of data pipelines, automating it